President Donald Trump was a light bearer in the year a long-overdue revolution began sweeping through the West, Brexit architect Nigel Farage said Friday during his speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference. When, in years to come, the generations that follow us study the history of this period, there is one year that will stand out. There is one year that every school child will know, and that year is the year of 2016, Farage told conservatives. Because in 2016 we witnessed the beginning of a global political revolution, and it is one that is not going to stop, and it is one that is going to roll out across the rest of the free world, he said. 2016 is the year the nation-state democracy made a comeback against the globalists and those who would wish to destroy everything we have ever been, he added. Farage told the conference one of his proudest moments of 2016 was the day in Mississippi when he publicly supported Trump. However, his favorite moment of the year, he said, came on America's election day. My favorite part of 2016 was watching the faces of the CNN presenters, he said. They are in deep denial. They would like to wind the clock back to 2015 to pretend that none of this ever happened. Farage then turned to the future. But just as Brexit becomes more popular by the day, President Trump will become more popular in America by the day, he said. Farage noted that Trump the president is seeking to do something even more remarkable than Trump the candidate. What I'm seeing, 36 days into the Trump presidency, I'm seeing something quite remarkable. I'm seeing an elected leader who is trying to put in place the platform on which he was elected. How about that? Farage said. What Trump is doing, by trying to put in place that ticket on which he was elected, he is restoring faith in the democratic process, and good for him. Farage also took the occasion to note that Brexit might never have been passed without President Barack Obama's British visit, in which he told Britons they should not leave the European Union. I will, until my dying day, be grateful that President Obama came to my country, intervened in the referendum, and told the United Kingdom, told America's greatest friend in the world, that if we chose independence we would go to the back of the line, he said. Farage also affirmed his opposition to globalism and noted there are three things that define the true allies his nation has in the world. Our real friends in the world speak English, have common law, and stand by us in times of crisis, he added. Farage noted the movement against globalism must not be perceived in a negative light. We've got to be clear, we're not against anybody based on religion or ethnicity. We're not against anybody. But we're for ourselves, we're for our country, we're for our communities, we're for making our people safe and with less risk from global terror. That is what we're for. And we're for our country. And we're for our people. And we are winning, he said. Prior to the speech, Farage talked to The Guardian about Trump's executive order on travel and immigration. I just don't get the hypocrisy of all you people. 16 countries ban Israelis going into them, you don't say a dicky bird. This man says for 90 days he's going to put a temporary suspension on while he looks at the vetting of rules, and by the way, America's vetting of rules are quite strict already, interestingly, working out whether it's right or not, and it's being portrayed amongst elements in the media and by many in Western politics as if it's some sort of road to fascism or something awful, Farage said. I just frankly think it's the most massively over-the-top reaction. Now obviously he's got caught up in legal complexity, he's going to come back and have another try, he added.